Hello everybody, how's it going today? Glowplasma 231 here, back in days about Märchen Crown, chapter number 22. This chapter is titled, The Thorny Crown. Oh my goodness, if only it should be called the Märchen Crown instead. Oh, don't crucify me for that one. Oh, geez, the humanity. But either way, I hope you all are doing well. I know I am doing well because, I'm talking about Märchen Crown, not my favorite manga series ever, but definitely one that intrigues me. I think that's the nicest way to put it, right? But either way, today we're talking about Märchen Crown chapter number 22, titled The Thorny Crown. Of course, if you guys did not see my last video or even read the last chapter, which, honestly, if you guys did neither of those and you're watching this video, thank you. Like, oh my gosh, I don't know why you're watching this video, but I hope you enjoy it, right? But last time in Märchen Crown, we had this whole chapter continuing on in the flashback of Cinderella. It's like, hey, this is how Bellina got through all this stuff. Oh no, her older sister and her stepmother just died, and now Lafina is her only stepsister left. Granted, she doesn't have any biological sisters. And all of a sudden, Madam Witch appeared out of nowhere after King Ela had come through to save Cinderella. And, Madam Witch was spouting all of these words about, like, pretty much, you must seek her as a worthy companion, King Ela, and then together you two can get the ultimate wedding gift that shall grant any witch, also known as the Thorny Crown. And that's where we ended off last chapter, and we literally start off this chapter of Märchen Crown with those exact words I just said, being that, like, yes, those come off the first page of this chapter, right? As we pretty much see just, like, Madam Witch, like, her white hair or yellow hair, whatever color hair she has, we have actually no idea, but it's colored white in the manga, which means it's not, like, brown or something like that, right? But either way, we just see that, Madam Witch has her hood on and sort of like just gesturing out towards Ela and pretty much Cinderella, who are sitting there together in a moment. Or really, this is Bellina here. I think in this chapter is where Ela says the whole thing of like, hey, I'll give you a new name, Cinderella, but we will be getting there in due time. Trust me, right? But either way, Madam Witch just continues on with a lot of expedition, just being like, hey, the cursed princesses, like you, were born into this land, and their chosen companions, the king's branches. Vanquish them all through Selectio Legalis and ascend to the throne as ruler of men. I'm here today to lead you down that fated path. As we get a really interesting panel here in the moment where we just see like Madam Witch is like very up close on her face, and like we just see her like garb over the front of her head, and we just see like her white hair, again, like whatever color this hair is, just like breezing out. It's a very interesting panel, along with the panel of the Märchen Crown. It's this very interesting thing where we just see like, oh man, there's all these like vines with rosebuds coming off of the vines. And in the middle, there's just this like standard looking golden, maybe silver crown. Again, this is manga, it's black and white. We have no idea, right? But it's just very interesting to be like, oh yeah, it's not actually a thorny crown like she calls it. It's actually just like a regular ass crown, even though like, hey, the whole curse exists, right? But either way, to all of this, King Ela's just like, a crown that grants any wish, you say? And he's like, hey, if I obtain that crown, will I be able to save her? Of course, still holding Bellina in his arms here in the moment, right? And we just get a little bit of an image where Bellina is just like grasping on the King Ela's clothes here in a moment. Like, she's obviously scared as can be, right? But either way, he's like, will I be able to save her from this curse and all of this tragedy? As you also just get a look at, hey, Lafina's here as well. Either way, Madam Witch just says, oh yes, all the world will be yours, to bend to your every will. Well, very well then, my duty here is done. As all of a sudden, a gust of wind just suddenly happens, as, Madam Witch just starts to float off of the ground, as she just says, like, hey, all yous whose stories have been written, I bid you farewell. Let us meet again when your fate is decided. As she sort of like holds out both of her arms to the side, like almost T-posing on these guys, and she just, like floats up towards the sky pretty much, like almost like very angelic in nature, something like that, right? And as this is all happening, King Ela is like, wait a second, tell me, who are you? As Madam Witch just says, me? I am the scribe who weaves the bonds between God and man. What tale will you spin? I look forward to your story. As again, she's just like floating up very angelic in style. As you just see like bird feathers flying down from the sky, settling onto the ground. As all of a sudden, Madam Witch just disappears, right? Like a circular rift forms in the sky. She like pinpoints out of it and like, boop, she's gone. She's vanished, as even the sound effects say here in the chapter. But either way, after all of this is happening, Bellina's like, what do you mean, our story? As Ela's just like, oh, so be it. I'll obtain this so-called crown. Just you wait and see. And as all of this is happening, of course, Ela still has everything going on with his leg here in a moment. Like, he is still reeling over just being infected with the curse, pretty much. As we just see Bellina's like, hey, wait a second. Like, can't my sister, like, come with us or something like that? Like, hey, without me, she's just going to be all alone, and that would be, like, so sad and all of that various stuff. And, like, hey, so can't we, like, do some... But either way, Lafina just interrupts both Bellina and Ela here in the moment. And she's just like, no, leave me. And Bellina's like, no, what are you? And she's like, I am not going. I cannot be with you. As Bellina's just like, hey, Lafina, but like, why? Like, but either way, King Ela just says, Bellina, this is for the best. I'll respect your wishes, Lady Lafina, but please wait for me. For I shall save you too. And not only you, but everyone and everything. As we see they start to walk away here in the moment, leaving Lafina there next to the burnt and cindered barn, of course, where she just lost her mother and her sister. And also, she's losing another one of her sisters by all means here, who's currently going away with King Ela in the form of Bellina, right? But as Ela and Bellina start to walk away, Ela's just like, and sort of he just like goes and sets her down off of her arms pretty much. He's like, hey Bellina, from today you shall be reborn. Hence, we must find you a new suitable name. You can cast aside your painful past and forge together a new future with me. And we can do this under your new name. And Bellina's just like a few tears coming out of her eyes, and she's like, no, your highness. As he pretty much just says like, hey, your lovely face is covered in ash. And he's like, oh, Cinderella. As he sort of walks back up to his horse, leaving Cinderella just to stand here, of course, in one high heel. She doesn't have like a crutch or anything else. Like, she is just standing up by the pure power of like, hey, I can balance myself on one leg. I don't know, if you don't have a leg, does it make it easier to balance on the other one just because you're used to, like, I don't know, I have all my limbs, so, like, I don't know, it's just a little bit of a weird panel. It's like, Ela just sets her down, and just like, hey, okay, your name is Cinderella now, and he walks away, and it's just, it's honestly a really funny thing where she's just, like, just standing here, just like, okay, sure, it is what it is, right? But either way, we now cut back to the present, where we see that Bellina is, of course, telling the story to, or Bellina Cinderella is telling the story to, of course, Lafina, who is, of course, now rehearing this in the moment, along with she's also telling it to not Cinderella, Rapunzel as well. I'm sorry, these names are too confusing. Either way, she's telling these two the story, pretty much. And she says, like, hey, my terrible fate of being consumed by this illness, the nightmare that I live. This name allowed me to forget it all. And that's why I cannot lose. If you dare to stand in the way of King Ela taking the crown and ruling the world, then even if you're my sister, as we see, of course, now in the moment, Cinderella reaches down to the ground. Of course, her eye mask is off, and she grabs a shard of King Ela's body, of course, that metal substance. And we see that she grabs it, and she gets ready and lunges towards Lafina, of course, almost looking like she's getting ready to stab her with it, right? And as she's sort of like lunging forward, like, even if you're my sister, and saying all of this stuff, some vines come up and tingle around Cinderella's arm. As Ela just says, let it go, Bellina. And she turns around being like, no, what are you talking about? Because, of course, like, man, this is actually a big moment. King Ela just called her by her regular name. And she's like, yes, your majesty, like, why are you doing this? As we see that Ela just says, I can't let you do that. She's the person you treasure most, is she not? And of course, Bellina's like, no, but what are you saying, King Ela? Like, obviously, you're the one I treasure. And King Ela's like, no more lies. Bellina, I know that you're afraid. You fear my love. You fear that I may yield yet to the curse. And I know, because I am exactly the same. I was too afraid of loving you, that I lacked confidence that I could resist this curse of mine. And that's why we can't measure up to their love. As of course, Ela's entire scorpion-like centipede, not scorpion, like centipede, millipede body is just in tatters, destroyed here in the moment. As we just see, of course, like his face and the vines barely sprouting out from the sort of inner shell, reaching towards Bellina here in the moment. And of course, looking at both Rapunzel and Michael, who's still in his true love form, just seeing all of this happening here. As Ela just says, hey, our love wasn't true. And of course, hearing this has this massive effect on Bellina, as she just grabs and like clenches her fist around this shard, and it just starts to bleed, opening up all of these cracks and crevices, and blood starts running down and off and around her hand, as she just starts screaming, no, 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 I don't accept this, as like she puts her hands to the top of her head, just like screaming out towards the world, like not being able to handle anything. And she's like, then who is going to save me? If you even can't give me true love, or even real warmth, then who is there no one who can save me? As just here in the moment, Bellina's mind starts to speak to her, as there's just a voice that says, that's right. After all, that is your curse. You kept chasing after what you wanted, but again, it's what you couldn't have, only up to obtain endless sorrow and despair. You kept chasing after what you couldn't have, only to obtain endless sorrow and despair. That is your fate. Leave it all to your fate, sorrow and despair, and destroy all in your path. O cursed vessel. As all of a sudden, we just see, like, in Bellina's mind, all of these images coming back of all of the times that she had, like, oh no, her parents burning the barn, her parents going through and doing this untamable harm to her just because they loved her, and the curse of torment reflecting this negatively once more. As this happens, all of these vines start to sprout down in Bellina's mind and almost consume her. As we just see in the moment, vines start to sprout out all around the castle here, right around where Bellina is sitting, and these vines just start sprouting out. They're massive, they're thick, they're big, and just causing chaos, breaking up and destroying the floor and doing all of this various stuff. And as all of this is happening, we just see that Lafina goes over and like gets right in front of Rapunzel and just says like, no, Bellina! And that's where we end this chapter of Märchen Crown, on this note of like, oh boy, this doesn't seem like it's very good. Bellina's got pushed a little bit farther than her limit could really achieve. And because of this, she's now having this very negative consequence of like, oh, yeah, your mind, you're not in a great mental state right now, and because of this, you're going in a rage, pretty much, right? And that's where we end this chapter of Märchen Crown, chapter number 22. All things considered, I don't have a whole lot to say about this chapter. Now, it was a fine chapter. I did enjoy going through it and like, oh, Madam Witch is getting so much more mysterious throughout these chapters. Like, we go on like, oh, what's this new, like, reveal supposed to mean? And, like, not really getting what's going on here. Just a very interesting way to portray all of Madam Witch's endeavors here. And, of course, the whole idea, it's a nice little moment, even if it is a little bit weird and, like, I don't know, I've never stood on one leg, let alone stand on one leg in a high heel and, like, tried to be like, yeah, help me keep my balance here. It doesn't seem like it'd be too easy, right? Especially after just, like, getting nearly choked to death by your sister and watching two of your family members die, some king come and save you, and then hearing that, like, oh, yeah, you've got a curse pretty much, right? Like, I don't know how I'd be able to stand up mentally in that situation, but if I had to guess, probably not well, right? Of course, with the whole other idea of like, hey, getting the new name, it's still a bit of a nice moment, and eventually Bellina just completely breaking down after Ela comes through and not even using the name Cinderella anymore to hide all of these facts, just being like, hey, I know you're afraid, you fear my love, you think I've been taken over by the curse, and I know because I'm the same as well. I fear that I am just a shell of my former self. It's a really important moment, all things considered, and just the way that Bellina deals with it is by causing more chaos, right? And yeah, that's really all I gotta say about this chapter of Märchen Crown. If you did enjoy this video, I have covered every single chapter of Märchen Crown to date on this YouTube channel, so like just go to @Glowplasma on YouTube, or just check out the playlist of the Märchen Crown video chapter reviews, or whatever I call them. It'll be in the inbox of the, or in the in card of this video, and in the description box of this video. I sort of mix up the word inbox. What is that supposed to mean, right? Or inbox, not like inbox or like your mail. You guys get the whole point there. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed this video. And again, this was chapter number 22 of Märchen Crown, titled The Thorny Crown. Oh my god, I can't believe it. And with that, I'll catch you guys next time for chapter number 23. Until then, this will be Glowplasma signing out.